Welcome, y'all, to Right on Rangers Live, another edition. Oof, this was a tough one today. Not the most exciting of games once again from a Rangers perspective. Although in the ninth inning, we get a little bit of pop. In fact, I got to be honest, as this game was going on, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just going to take today off. I mean, there was no hits through 4 or 5 innings, something like that. And I just was not feeling it today. But we're trying to stay consistent here at Right On Rangers, go through the entire 162 game season with you. And you know what? Those few extra runs in the ninth inning gave me just the motivation I needed. Not that it helps the loss. Rangers take the one yesterday, of course, win a game 2-1, but today lose 8-4. And although the game looks like it was a lot closer from a box score perspective, this game was not very close. Rangers make it interesting in the bottom of the ninth inning, but largely were shut out and left hitless for a majority of this game. So I cannot say by any means that this game ever felt winnable. It did obviously get interesting in the ninth. You know, there were a couple runners on for Kisner. You're down 4 runs. Maybe Kisner gets a big hit. Now you make it 8-6, but never really felt like this game was winnable. What's up, by the way, for everybody joining in? Appreciate you guys. See a couple people from Facebook, see a couple people from YouTube. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to try and run through this one with you pretty quickly. These losses, especially days like today where just absolutely nothing is happening in the game for long stretches of time. These ones are tough to go through, but you know what? There's a few bright spots in the mix nonetheless, I think, that are worth discussing. And hopefully we can get the game tomorrow. I think we've got a favorable matchup tomorrow. We'll preview that for you. So tough one against Hunter Greene today. I kind of told y'all last night I thought it was going to be a 50-50 shot today. You know, we had never really faced Hunter Greene before. Nobody on the Rangers, I think, except Kisner, had really seen him. And I said last night, it's either going to go well or it's not going to go well at all. And Hunter Greene was absolutely filthy tonight for the Reds. Through 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk. So 2 base runners all night from Hunter Greene, 6 Ks. He's a high-quality arm. He is ace-type stuff. I mean, he's not having, the ace season per se. I think he had an ERA over 4 coming into this one. Now it's down to 3.63. But Hunter Greene has ace-type stuff, and the Rangers never had really seen him before. And as I said last night, that usually goes one of 2 ways. Usually it either leads to some kind of advantage for the hitter, or the pitcher just absolutely shuts the other offense down. And that's what happened to the Rangers today. Nobody really able to get anything going off of him. I think Josh Smith eventually broke up the no-hitter, if I'm not mistaken. But ninth inning is really what it took for the Rangers to get going once Hunter Greene was out of the game, and the Reds were kind of into some of their back end guys, some of their, I don't want to say scrub pitchers, because I don't really know a lot of these Reds relief pitchers, to be honest, but I'm sure they weren't throwing anybody at the top of the line, although they did have to, and I did appreciate, this can factor into a series, that the Rangers made the Reds throw their closer. I don't think Suter is anybody that was top of the line. He came in after Hunter Greene. But for tomorrow, for the purposes of tomorrow's game, I think it's important that we made the Reds throw their closer. Now, could he throw again tomorrow? Probably. But still, I just like that they had to use him today. We'll see how that affects him for tomorrow. I do think that's a positive. Rangers forced the Reds in the ninth inning to use the closer. And I think let's just go right to the ninth inning because, of course, that's probably the brightest spot for the Rangers. So I think, first off, let's lead with Davis Wendzel getting that first home run of his major league career. He's had a couple of firsts this week. So had the first major league hit a couple of nights ago, and then hits his first home run of his major league career today. 102 exit velocity. Left center field shot. Absolutely happy for him. Glad to see that he's swinging the bat pretty well these last few days at least. And that kind of got things started. Leote scored on that. It was 8-2. Corey Seager hitting a little solo shot right after that to make it 8-3. So look, you've got some positives in the ninth inning. You just never know how it's going to carry over. Sometimes it doesn't carry over at all, and sometimes it does. I hope that home run for Corey Seager is a wake-up moment for him, where now we start to see the extra base hits, the home runs come in bunches for him. I think it very well could work out that way. Maybe it's just a one-off, and Siegs will be back to what he's been doing the past few weeks, which is not hitting the ball very well. But I would like to think that home run is going to help him get going. That's what I choose to believe. We're always trying to look at the bright side of things here at Right On Rangers. But Josh Smith, the other bright spot in that ninth inning, that guy just continues to hit, does he not? He's 2 for 4 tonight, and he had 2 doubles, 9 doubles on the year, had one off Hunter Green to break up the no-no, and then had another off of Suter, the Reds reliever who they brought in after Green. So Josh Smith just continues to hit well. So 2 for 4 tonight for him with an RBI, 2 doubles, raises that average to 304. So let's look at the positives. Josh Smith continues to hit well. And this was I didn't get the full story on this. So if y'all were able to read about this, or you heard it on the broadcast, fill in the blanks for me. But it sounded like Siegs was maybe not going to play today. By the way, happy birthday to him. But it seemed like he wasn't going to play, but then he was. And there was like a little bit of confusion there with the lineup from what I gathered. But he plays today, gets just the 1 hit in the ninth inning, the solo shot. Maybe an off day coming for him tomorrow, I would assume. Of course, Adolis Garcia got the off day today, and it's safe to say they missed his bat in the lineup. I mean, anytime you get held scoreless for the first 8 innings, that's got to be the first thing that comes to mind. Don't have your cleanup hitter hitting today. I'm sure it was just kind of a normal routine day off for him, but it really feels like with this lineup, you need everybody playing every day for things to click. I do think that the Rangers have one or 2 games where they don't have everybody, or at least maybe that core 3 guys, Semien, Seager, Garcia. I think they have maybe 1 or 2 games where one of those guys is not playing. But more often than not, it seems like one of those guys sits, and the game just ends up going similar to this. A low-scoring affair where we're just not putting across very many runs. I hope that can change, and I know that as they get, a couple of guys back, Josh Young, Nate Lowe, when he gets back to his form, which I think he's looking pretty good right now, I must say, in the week he's been back. I can't say Nate Lowe looks like he is not hitting well, not seeing the ball well. So I would like to see the Rangers be a little bit more competitive with the bats when one of their big guys isn't playing. Feels like we always get on here after a loss where Seager sits or, Garcia sits. Of course, Semien is not sitting. You know that already. But it seems like when one of those guys sits, one of those 2 guys sits, the offense just becomes very anemic. So hopefully tomorrow, it's a new day for the bats, but Seager probably not going to be playing tomorrow if I had to guess. By the way, just checking some comments here now. Okay, decided to play. Duran got scratched. Makes total sense. So we have a situation, I'm sure, for tomorrow where probably not everybody is going to be in the lineup if I had to guess. Siegs will probably get a day off. Maybe they give Heim a day off. I don't know. Maybe not, though, because they got Kisner in the ball game today for a couple of innings. So maybe Heim plays tomorrow. Would be nice. I always say, look, right now we're 1-1 with the Reds. Let's get the series win tomorrow. If we would have won, today, I say, hey, give some guys some days off on Sunday. But personally, get the series win. These games, we say this like every time, so I know I'm beating a dead horse. I'll probably keep saying it every live. These games matter. The division's going to come down to 1 or 2 games. And for me, just win the series. Take 2 out of 3. A sweep would have been great. A sweep, I think, was something that was obtainable against this Reds team. But for right now, just win the series. So I know Seager's probably going to get the day off tomorrow. I would have loved to have seen a massive day off on Sunday for a number of players after winning today. I would have liked to have seen Dolly in the lineup. Maybe there's something going on with him. Maybe it's just routine rest. But for me, if you were going to rest Dolly today, rest Seager today. I mean, get everybody on the same page. Win the game today. Have a full lineup. Go for the series win today, and then rest everybody on Sunday if you want. That would have been my strong preference. You give Seager the day off tomorrow. You give Dolly the day off tomorrow after a win today. Now, if you end up losing today and you play everybody, so be it. But I think that would have been the play. Instead, we're kind of going to have this lineup where back-to-back days we probably don't have a stacked deck. You know, we're going to have probably Seager out tomorrow, maybe another guy out tomorrow. I just would have rather us done it all at one time and win at least 2 out of 3 instead of being disadvantaged tomorrow as well. Now, tomorrow for the game, I think we have Dunning going. Yes, we do. And they have Abbott going, who's got a pretty good ERA 260, 1-2 record. I mean, pitching record isn't everything, right? But Abbott having a pretty good year thus far in terms of runs allowed per start. Lefty, so Rangers will probably go with their lefty lineup, I'm sure, for Abbott. Doesn't look like anybody beyond Kisner has seen him. Of course, that comes from Kisner's days with the Cardinals in the NL Central, playing the Reds a lot. But nobody else on the Rangers has seen him, but I'm sure the Rangers will employ that lefty lineup that they like to go to. On the flip side, Dane Dunning, looks like there's a few guys that have seen him. Candelario has a home run off him, 4 for 10 in his career. Then you've also got, looks like, Steer with 1 at bat, 1 for 1, and then pretty much nobody else. So Candelario is kind of the guy who's got the most at bats and a home run off Dunning. Otherwise, this is how it's going to be with some of these interleague matchups. You're just not going to have a lot of batters that have seen the pitchers and vice versa. So that can go one of two ways. But the Rangers, I'd like to see, and I'd be interested to see what their splits are against lefty starters this year. So, in other words, you know, how many games have the Rangers won versus lost when there's a lefty starter? I'm curious about that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to look it up right now without there being too much dead time, but I will look it up after the live's over, unless one of y'all gets to it first. How many wins do the Rangers have when a lefty starts this year versus losses? That would be interesting to find out if it's pretty even or if there is kind of a polarizing split between lefty starters, righty starters. I think that would be interesting to know. So we'll see how the Rangers do tomorrow against Abbott. I think, again, like today with Hunter Green, not a lot of Rangers batters had faced him. So we'll see what happens. I would assume Seager probably sits. So maybe we end up, scraping together a win with our lefty lineup. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. It could be a little bit of a mixed bag. For Dunning, though, we'd just like to see less walks from him. Stay out of trouble with the walk. Let's have a pretty, I would say, clean game in terms of giving away free base runners, and I think Dane Dunning's going to do pretty well. I don't feel like Dunning's gotten hit around a ton this year, but I do feel like he's gotten into trouble with the walk. So that's what I'd like to see from Dunning. I think the only other thing with today's game, Mike Lorenzen pitched, I think, really, really well today. I mean, he threw 6 innings strong. Then they asked him to come back out for the 7th, and that's when things kind of started falling off, right? He pitched, 6 strong innings, 3 earned runs, so it was a quality start. I mean, if he exits the game after the 6th, that's a quality start. His pitch count before the 7th inning, I think, was high 80s, low 90s, so clearly they were wanting to get a little bit of length out of him today, probably just to save the bullpen. But I feel bad for Lorenzen. Not only did you get no run support today while you were pitching, But then you go back out for the 7th after a quality start, 6 innings, 3 runs or less given up. And Lorenzen probably hung out to dry a little bit too much there. Rangers probably could have gone to somebody else in the 7th inning. At that point, it was somewhat of a close game still. Actually, no. That was the top of the 7th was when it really got ugly, I guess. 8-0, right? So at that point, it was 3-0 when Lorenzen goes back out for the top of the 7th. Bear with me while I piece this together. I was kind of in and out of the game today doing a few different things, but Lorenzen, not any run support, and then has to go back out and pitch the 7th. That's where he gives up the home run. And yeah, with Dunning as well. I know I'm looking through the comments right now. I do agree the home run ball has plagued him. Walks and home runs. Can we get no walks? How about this? No walks might not be reasonable. Can we get 1 to 2 walks? No home runs. I think that is a very realistic goal for Dunning. No home runs allowed, 1 to 2 walks max. Dane Dunning's got some pretty filthy stuff. He's going to strike guys out. Dunning might have gotten hit around in one game where he gave up, 5+ hits, something like that. But I really feel if Dunning limits the walks, the Rangers are going to have a very good shot at winning the ball game tomorrow. What's up to everybody joining in on YouTube, by the way? Hey, how's it going? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you. Thanks for the support. Appreciate y'all liking and subscribing to the channel, following along with us. It means a lot, so thank you. We're going to wrap things up here with a couple of looks around the AL West, looking at how some other teams are doing today, kind of give you the update on that. So what we're going to do right now is take a look at those scores. So looks like everybody's playing today. Astros are leading 4-2 in Colorado. And that game was actually kind of a crazy game. So before the game, I look, and the over-under for that game was 17 runs. I think that's the biggest over-under that I have ever seen. Ever. I mean, 17 runs for a baseball game over-under is absolutely ridiculous. Right now, they look to be a little bit behind schedule. I don't know, 6 runs scored through 4 innings. We'll see. But the Astros do lead 4-2. And then we've got, let's see, who else is playing right now so far. A few games haven't started yet. Let's look at the final games. A's lose to the Orioles 7-0 today in Baltimore. So look, the A's are a few games back, but still within striking distance. The Mariners play tonight at, looks like 8:40 Texas time. Angels play tonight at about the same time. So we've got Astros winning. We've got A's losing. So that so far is the AL West roundup for you. Hopefully we can keep a couple of those teams off our backs. And in the case of the Mariners, we can keep them not too far out in front of us. It'd be nice to get a couple of losses tonight out on the West Coast for those teams. So for tomorrow, we've got a couple of different things to look at. First of all, we'll do a little bit of, I would say, probably a live look in the 8th or 9th inning. We'll take a peek at what's going on. And then after that, we'll do our entire roundup and wrap up after the game. So we'll look to probably come in. Let me see what time the game is tomorrow for y'all. It is at 1:35 Texas time. So mid-afternoon, late afternoon, we'll probably go live so that way we can go through the last couple of innings with you. So that is the plan. Let's go ahead and with that, start wrapping things up. I think we got some hockey tonight, if I'm not mistaken, Stars and Golden Knights. That'll be fun. And then Mavericks, I think, are back on tomorrow. So, hey, unfortunately, with the Rangers loss tonight, it's up to the Stars, for all y'all DFW sports fans, to make things a little bit better tonight. And then the Mavericks tomorrow. So we'll move forward to the next game, game 29 tomorrow. Hopefully the Rangers can get a series win against the Reds. That is the plan. So we will see y'all then. And as we always say here at Right On Rangers, God bless. Go Rangers. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.